Okay, I don't really know how many watches I've reviewed, but I have reviewed a lot. I started this channel back in 2021. I've had a lot of watches come through since then, and I still love doing this. I still get excited every time, which is nice. So here's the best watches I have reviewed ever. So I originally borrowed the Seiko 5 GMT from my fabulous friend Luke, and I was so won over by this, I ended up buying one for myself. The Seiko 5 GMT is probably the best value mechanical GMT money can buy. Seiko movements are always good and reliable, but it was the wearing experience that really stood out to me. At first, the dimensions sound big, at 42.5 millimeters, 13.6 millimeters thick, but with the short lugs, Jubilee style bracelet, it feels a lot smaller. It's a great watch. NOMOS is one of my all-time favorite brands. Ideologically, they are fiercely independent, making about 95% of their movements in Glashutte, very well priced, and a brand that understands how to be quirky and fun while delivering heavy-hitting watchmaking. The Club Sport World Timers genuinely surprised me, first unveiled at Watches and Wonders 2025, and they have just released a few new colors as well. Unique design language, very well constructed. I have one of these on my short list to buy next. I had two of these in, the Grand Seiko 62GS. I've always really liked Grand Seiko, but I haven't been on board fully 100% with a single model until these. It's everything I want from Grand Seiko. It's the dial work, genuinely beautiful, 38mm case diameter, which suits a larger and smaller wrist alike, powered by the 9S85 high beat, giving an incredibly smooth sweep. It's so good. The Pelagus FXD is one of those models that changed my mind. When it was first released, I was a bit meh on it. I don't love the fixed spring bars, it's not the most versatile, but honestly, I was wrong. Incredibly robust tool watch, and it has a really unique charm to it. The blue is perfect, matte effect, highly legible, and a good addition to the Pelagus model family. If you have been following this channel, you will know I have reviewed this specific reference a few times now. It is genuinely my favorite era of the Seamaster Diver 300, the reference 2250-450. This fixes almost every complaint people have with the Seamaster. I'm sorry, the helium escape valve isn't going anywhere, but the sword hands rather than skeleton, date window neatly tucked away at 3 o'clock, and a Speedmaster style 3-link bracelet rather than the usual 5-link. The design language is almost mil-spec, but still has the Seamaster specifications we love. There's something about this era of Omega that does it for me. 90s, 2000s charm, great build quality. Yes, okay, more Omega, get into it. I wasn't sure if I was going to put this one on or the modern Seamaster Diver 300, but I ultimately decided to go with the Planet Ocean because having this in moved it from being a watch that I liked and respected to being on my list. I want to own one of these. My friend Ben, an owner of the Wristworthy publication, you should go check it out, he let me borrow this. It's his watch, his pre-ceramic version. I said it in the last section, but it still carries through. There's a charm to this era. The whole reason I was hands-on with the Glashutte original CQ is because I actually wrote to them asking if they'd ever send me a press piece. I strongly suspected I was going to love this watch, and I was right. I would describe this as the thinking man's dive watch choice, if you have Submariner kind of money, but want something different. And it was so nice, I've asked for it twice. I recently reached out to Glashutte Original to see if they'd send me a CQ again, but this time with the sapphire case back. It's such an exciting update. From pictures, I would have said I don't like the Zenith Chronomaster Revival Shadow, but if you've had the pleasure of seeing this, please back me up in the comments because it's awesome. Microblasted titanium gives the case this matte, kind of badass effect. It feels really angular and architectural. Great movement. The strap is great. Sometimes I look at the dark, shadowy figure of the Chronomaster Revival and think of some of the dark, shadowy figures that are lurking about online, which is why I use today's fabulous video sponsor, Surfshark. Far and away my worst transition. It's not even close. I'm so sorry. So, if you're not as familiar, Surfshark is a VPN, or virtual private network, that safeguards your data and privacy online by encrypting your internet activity. You guys know I travel a lot for work, and Surfshark is my best friend in this. I use their price discrimination to find the best possible deals on planes, rental cars, hotels, by placing my computer in different locations. I don't know why it works like this, but it does, so why not save some money? And it doesn't have to be for just work trips. If you love going on holidays or traveling, Surfshark has you covered. On top of that, if I'm in a different country, I probably don't want to watch their Netflix. I want to watch what I was watching back home. Surfshark gives you access to your favorite shows without buffering or annoying pop-ups. Using their antivirus software, you get immediate notifications if you download concerning apps or files, and webcam protection preventing apps from accessing your camera when you don't want them accessing your camera. That's creepy stuff. I really dislike that. Thankfully, Surfshark exists. And the cherry on top, one Surfshark account can be used on unlimited devices. So the whole household is covered. If this sounds good to you, go click the link that is in my description, use code GRINGA at checkout to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark and a 30-day money-back guarantee. They're awesome, you're awesome, and thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Okay, Sinn. This is a brand people have been telling me to review for years now, but I just didn't have access to one. So when my friend Mark said, "Hey, you should borrow mine," I jumped all over that. Thank you, Mark. The first thing that stood out to me with the EZM3F was the build quality. This watch felt like a tank in a good way, like the construction was fantastic. No frills, just really good watchmaking in a sporty, robust package. These retail for just under 1,800 euros, very well priced, and I should get more Zin. Zin. So this is a darling of watch enthusiasts. I think you'd have a pretty tough time finding one of us who doesn't, at the very least, have a soft spot for the JLC Reverso. The mechanism is extremely satisfying, the design holds up, timeless, elegant, but still weirdly sporty. I know people are going to fight with me in the comment section about it being sporty, but I think it's kind of sporty. I think everyone who is into watches, at the very least, should experience the Reverso. I would love to own one of these. I'm actively saving for one. I'm hoping I can afford it in the next 5 years or so. I could drone on about Polo or the mechanism, but it just has a je ne sais quoi. It's enjoyable to wear, and that's what it's really all about. This is the watch that inspired me to make this video. I think about the Bel Canto regularly. I remember when Christopher Ward released it, I was shocked. Like, this was not on my bingo card ever, but it really resonates with me, and they got every single thing about it right. The design is great, completely unique. There is no reference point. This functions as an hourly chime that was achieved through heavily modifying their jump hour caliber, but the biggest thing is just that I found it very useful. I am a person who gets very lost in my day. It's almost like I have tunnel vision when I'm trying to complete a task and my day gets away from me. The hourly chime kept me grounded and present in the working day, and it's embarrassing to say, but it's probably the most useful complication I've ever had. This is probably the most beautiful watch I've ever had in, and I mean this from all aspects. Every single element of this watch had clearly been thought through, and it was near perfection. The dial was beautiful, hand-applied honeycomb motif in green, and a yellow gold case material. My favorite part, far and away, was the officer's case back. An underused thing. I love closed, decorated case backs, but I also love seeing the movement. So it's kind of nice having the best of both worlds. I would love it if officers' caseback or hunters' casebacks became a trend again. Speaking of the movement, it is phenomenal. If you're a movement person, you will of course know the LUC 9601, beautifully decorated Geneva seal. Just a beautiful standout watch in every regard. This is almost the exact opposite of the Chopard. This is big, brash, bold, but this might be one of the most mindful tool watches I've ever seen. I'd describe the Endurance Pro as prioritizing function over form almost to a fault. Every single aspect of this watch has been chosen with the intended purpose in mind. The accuracy of quartz won't be beaten by mechanical. It is a thermo-compensated super quartz. Compass bezel, exceptionally light case. Every choice was made to suit the purpose, and I think that's cool. This is probably the most underrated Rolex and the last true tool watch that they make. It is the last Rolex professional model without a ceramic bezel, unless you count the precious metal Daytonas. It is the last stainless steel Rolex professional model without a ceramic bezel. Every single surface is brushed, making it feel subdued, no flash, date at 3 o'clock, and the orange hand functions as a 24-hour hand that also indicates whether it is day or night. Full bias exposed on this one. I am pretty sentimental about the Explorer II. When I first met my husband, a black dial 216570 floating hands was his daily wear. Whoo-hoo! Okay, this is far and away the most interesting Cartier I've ever been hands-on with. This was an NSO, or Special Order Tank, made for the Paris Watch Club. There are 5 in platinum and 5 in rose gold. This is one of the 5 platinum, and there's a lot of oddities for a tank. For one, the most obvious, Arabic numerals being used over Roman. It's almost jarring to look at as a Cartier person. And then there's the dial. It's amazing. It looks purple in some lights and blue in other, and then it turns black. To be honest, any Cartier tank is great. Any Cartier tank should be on a list like this. But this one was particularly special. IWC released this new 35mm Ingenieur for Watches and Wonders 2025, and I really didn't see it coming. I don't know why I didn't see it coming. It actually makes a lot of sense, but it stole the show for me. I think the Ingenieur got a really bad rap when it was reintroduced. People were pretty upset about the price, and I was one of those people, but after being hands-on, like properly hands-on, I see why IWC priced it the way that they did. The Ingenieur really is a cut above. It's a step up for them in terms of finishing. There has been a lot of attention to detail and just little design things that were clearly very thought through. The careful placement of polishing, grid pattern dial, and a pretty deliberate bracelet. The 35mm particularly might be the most perfect proportions. I'd recommend to most men to get this sizing if they like a more classical wearing experience or if they have smaller wrists. And this attracts a lot of women as well. I think they've branded this really cleverly as well. This is not the lady Ingenieur. It's for anyone who wants those smaller proportions. Last but not least, the King Seiko Vanek was a watch I got in because I was very curious. King Seiko is positioning themselves between Seiko and Grand Seiko and is meant to bridge those worlds. The Vanek specifically is weird. It's niche. I really like it. It doesn't look or feel like anything else. The case is angular, almost architectural. The bracelet wraps beautifully to the wrist. It almost feels like it's melting onto you. And it has the kind of dial we expect from the Seiko group. This was a reissue from their archives that was executed almost too faithfully. People don't like that the Vanek is too blocky, but that's what the Vanek was. It was a small batch 1970s blocky weirdo watch. I like it. I think a lot of people won't, but it was one of my favorite watches I've had the pleasure of reviewing. I've had so many watches through. It's been a fabulous 4 years of being on YouTube and talking about watches. I have a few grails that I would like to review in 2026. Parmigiani Fleurier. If I could spend some real time with one of these, oh yes, I think my brain would explode. A Lunga Unzona. See Parmigiani. I think my brain would explode. I'd love more affordable watch access. Frederic Constant is doing something really special right now. More JLC. I love so many other models, but I can't get hands-on to do reviews, but I would love to see more of them. So that's the dream. That's who I'll be emailing for 2026 and hopefully see some content like that coming out. I'd love to know in the comments down below, do you have a favorite watch review that you've seen? It doesn't need to be one of mine. In fact, I would prefer it if it's not one of mine. Write down your favorite YouTuber, your favorite watch review, something that's really stuck with you, and give everyone in the comments more videos to watch after this one. Thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you for your viewership. And thank you to the Pope tier patrons. Oh my gosh. Oh yes. Get their names on the screen. Hello, Pope tier patrons, all tier patrons, anyone who's just made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much. I can't believe anyone enjoys my channel, let alone wants to support it. And that's what the names on this screen right now do. Thank you so much. This channel runs on people who keep it going, like these names, like all the tiers of patrons. Thank you. You keep the lights on here. You're amazing. And even if you don't keep enjoying this channel, even if you opt out of my Patreon, that's okay. Thank you so much for supporting it now. And I hope you keep enjoying watches forever. They're fabulous. You're fabulous. Thanks, guys.